Rich, I'm ready to hand the reins over to you to talk about what's going to happen this week.
Black Friday.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that one.
Sure. I'll ask that young man behind you. I'm sure he knows something about it. Black Friday, one of the biggest shopping days of the year. Everyone's getting ready. Thanksgiving, right after Thanksgiving, get out there, run out to the stores at crazy hours of the morning, going online, spending all that money.
Do you actually do that?
I haven't, but I actually might be. I've seen 2 items which I'm really interested in.
Really?
I might be there like 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving.
Really?
In the afternoon, yeah.
Hey,
a couple of TVs.
Before we even get into your segment, Rich, I just want to throw this question out to both of you. What are your thoughts on these stores that are like not closing, that are saying Thanksgiving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we're going to start our Black Friday? I mean, it's
not fair for the employees because that is, especially Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
That's the holiday.
Right.
That's the day when everyone traditionally has been spending as much time with friends and family, relax, get your food on, sit back, do nothing, not have to worry about going to work, running around, doing anything. So, it's just a shame that maybe the stores are just in that situation now where they need to make that money. Especially the brick and mortars, because that's where it is now. Everyone else is going to go on Cyber Monday.
Right. Yeah, but I was going to say, but even if that's the case, I mean, that's not good for their morale, for their clientele, as far as not even their clientele, but their employees.
That's right.
So their employees are going to be there with an attitude because they really want to be with their family.
Yep, you're right.
So I'm right behind you, Rich, on that one.
So, of course, having just said I might be there at 5 o'clock on Thursday, maybe, but that's what we'd have to do. We'd have to say everyone just don't do any shopping on Thanksgiving Day.
Right.
Well, you don't have to worry about me because I hate shopping, so I am nowhere near the stores.
I've never, ever,
neither have I,
ever attended a Black
Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, or
Friday, or
my sons have. I've never done it.
Okay.
Really? Your sons have?
Yeah, they come home with TVs every year. Seriously, every year it gets a larger TV. He's like, all right, I'm going to bring home a 60 this year.
I remember the one year I was supposed to stand out there for the PlayStation 3, and I didn't.
Okay.
And my son was upset. And I told him, I said, you'll get over it. I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yep.
All right. Your thoughts on Black Friday as per safety, security?
Well, Black Friday, this is it's a Black Friday thing and a Cyber Monday thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Cyber Monday.
Yeah, that's the big online shopping day.
Okay.
But of course, now in preparation for Black Friday, all the vendors are releasing apps to get into the best deals, connect to their sites and see, what's going to be available on those days. Now, if you probably read recently in the New York Times, there was information that hundreds of faulty, defective, or imposter apps were on the App Store, and they had to get pulled down. Hundreds of them. And, there was a time when we would think, all right, these are going to be for Joe's Pizzeria or, Mom and Pop's shoe store on the corner. But these were apps that were out there purporting to be from places like Dollar Tree and Foot Locker and Dillard's and Nordstrom's and Jimmy Choo and Christian Dior. So what you have to worry about now is just because an app, you have to go farther than just going on the App Store, typing in the vendor name, and clicking on the first app you find. Because a lot of them try to imitate looking like the real thing. And a lot of times you can tell because there will be spelling changes or spelling faults on the app. Like the big one was Foot Locker. It was Foot Lock. There was no R at the end.
Oh, wow.
But they posted like 16 different apps all under that name, and they were all imitation apps. So some of the things are, some of these apps don't really do too much except put a bunch of pop-ups up for you to go buy from these alternate vendors. But the concern is you still don't know what they're doing. So even if you do go to these alternate vendors, you make a purchase, you're putting in your credit card information. You don't know if this is, just going to be only used for the purchase, or then it's going to find its way down line to some nefarious, person trying to see your credit card information.
So then how do we know what's real and not real? Like I said, let's not shop.
We can't do that. So you have to the answer is look at the app, or my recommendation always is, if you want to get the app for a store, go to the store's website. And when I say that, that doesn't mean go to Google, type in the store's name, and go to the first hit there. No, go in the top of your browser, type in www.store.com. Once you're on their website, just about every store puts a link to their app now these days.
Oh,
they say, go online to our app. Go to the app link there. That's going to take you to either the iTunes store or to the Google Play Store to get the official app. Click on that, download it, don't worry about it, install it, and you're straight from there.
I never thought about that.
That's really the guaranteed way to do it. And again, I stress on that. Don't go to Google and type the store's name, because you're going to get a bunch of hits, which half of them will not be the store.
I guess I'm guilty of that then.
Most people are. But that's what you have to worry about. And the other thing is, a lot of these apps now are trying to synchronize your authentication using your Facebook login.
Right.
So you go to one of the malware apps, you click on that, it says, all right, well, log in here using your Facebook login. You click on the link, it looks like it's forwarding you to Facebook for authentication. You put in your username and your Facebook password, and it might log you into Facebook, but now they could have captured that information and do whatever with it. And if you're like 90% of the people out there, the same password you use for Facebook with that email address, you use for other websites with that email address. And now they could potentially have access to who knows what.
Oh, wow.
So you really, really, have to track that.
Okay. So let's just say if I'm not going the app route and I'm going the browser route. So I'm sitting at my home.
Yep.
Nice and comfy.
Yep.
I got the hot cocoa right there.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the screen, and it's really, really bright, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this. And I decide to buy something. Tell us about the difference between HTTP and HTTPS.
So, and these days, almost nothing that's out there is using just plain HTTP. So the differences are, one is secured and encrypted. That's the HTTPS. And the other one, there is no encryption. So in other words, when the data is transmitted, when it's non-HTTPS, the text is almost, call it plain text. What you type, when you press enter, it's sent, and anyone monitoring it can basically read what's going on if they're kind of track what's on your system or your data line. If it's encrypted, it's going to be using either a 256-bit or a 1024-bit encryption key, which scrambles all the information between the two sites, between your computer and the host computer, scrambles it, and so that anyone who might be trying to hack or track in and see what's going on would not be able to read that information. So you never really, and one of the key ways, different browsers do it different ways, but if you look in the upper left corner from your browser, you'll see usually a little lock icon, or it'll highlight it and say it's encrypted, or it'll say something maybe like VeriSign. That's one of the most popular vendors that does the encryption. Once you see that, you know that whatever you type there at least is being composed and encrypted so that it couldn't be tracked and hacked into easily.
Listen, I'm an impulse buyer. So let's say I'm sitting here and I'm walking somewhere, and I said, you know what? I see a public terminal. And I saw a wonderful gift that I'm thinking about getting for Dr. Michelle for what she's doing with the show and everything else like that. And I walk up to a public terminal.
Hold up a second. You said,
See, I know he's
First, you should ask him what the gift is.
No. I wouldn't put him out there like that. Because I know it's going to be a good gift. See, you don't have to worry about that.
Gift.
Anyway,
it's going to be
go
a great
ahead.
gift.
Sorry for the interruption.
It's going to be fantastic.
But see, I'm going to grab Ted as he walks up to that terminal and turn that terminal off, or turn him around and tell him, walk away. Don't do it. Because here's the problem. When you're on a public terminal, you have no idea where that connection is, who else is monitoring. I mean, there are guys who do this for a living who will sit in that, sit in that coffee shop and just look at all the traffic, monitor the traffic that's on the wireless, and just pick information out of it. The last place you want to do anything, especially if it's going to involve a credit card, or don't even think about doing banking at your coffee shop. You want to just browse the web and not put any information on, and just fine, go right ahead. Don't do any transactions publicly if there's any way at all you can avoid it. And if not, make sure you see that HTTPS in the browser, so at least you know that it's encrypted. But I still recommend don't do it at all.
So is the safest thing to do for Cyber Monday or Black Friday to just go into a brick and mortar store?
The safest? Probably. But then, of course, you have to worry about skimmers on credit card readers, and you have to worry about the people in the store if they're doing the right thing. But, do I worry about shopping online? No, I don't.
Okay.
It's safe. It's secure when you're doing it through an approved vendor and a well-known store. Shop to your heart's content. And I mean, the other thing about it is also that all the credit card companies will back you up if something does go wrong and you're on a site and you prove that, I didn't know this was going on. They'll back you up because they for them this is billions and billions of dollars a year in theft, and everything they want to do is catch these people.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's perfect because I am now prepared to do the right thing when I won't be physically at that brick and mortar store, but I think I'll be sitting at a desktop that's mine, that I can log in, that if it's an approved website, I will go in and make a purchase and look for the HTTPS and look for the little lock in the upper left-hand corner. And if there's any type of McFoo-Foo site, I will turn away from it.
You have to just be aware. Look at it. McFoo-Foo.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness.
All that to say, I didn't get my gift.
I mean, eventually. But, I mean, that's a heck of a story to tell. You can say, hey, well, I was getting you this wonderful gift.
Yep, and I got hacked.
Oh, my goodness.